Hey, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy X coming at y'all with a brand new video, and as you guys can see, we're back at it with the tier list, also with the custom name. So if you guys are excited, make sure you guys smash the like button down below. This one will be doing the small forwards tier list. If you guys want to see the other ones we did, the other two were the point guards and the shooting guards were before the new season dropped, so a few cards may be missing there, but either way, we got the small forwards here, and it's going to be wonderful. And subscribe if you guys are new. We are on that road to 10K subscribers. The support on all the videos lately has been absolutely insane, so I cannot thank you guys enough for all of that. It seriously has been kind of wild. But without further ado, let's hop in here, and I'm gonna be honest. When actually researching and going through all of these cards and stuff like that, the small forward position has the lowest amount of opals and no dark matters out of every single position in the game, which is kind of crazy. There's some cards that are primary shooting guards but can play small forward, or primary power forwards but can play small forwards. There's not a single primary small forward right now in the game that is a dark matter, and there's only, I think, 10 or 12 opals, so kind of crazy, and you'll see that as we get through on the list. So starting off the D tier, we do have all of our wonderful guys in Dumpster Fire, which are Cedric Ceballos, Pink Diamond, Peja Stojakovic, still the worst Pink Diamond in the game. Feels great to have him down there. Look at him. Poor Peja. Then we have Galaxy Opal, Elgin Baylor. Even as an Opal, I'm just not a fan of Elgin. He can sit down there in Dumpster Fire. No, thank you. The exchange reward, Larry Bird, because for some reason I still see some people using him. Please don't be one of those guys. And Diamond Kiki Vandeweghe, the new Pink Diamond you'll see on this list a lot higher up. But yeah, his original Diamond can sit there in Dumpster Fire, just not great. When it comes to the C tier, we are starting off with Amethyst Michael Porter Jr. purely because I just love the dude on offense. I think he's just an absolute demon there. He gets a little bit slept on, and he's just overall just a really great card that some people need to throw some love on his name because he's actually really fire. Next up, we do have Galaxy Opal Lou Hudson. Now, Lou Hudson is kind of like a shorter Jimmy Butler, which to some people actually is probably a pretty good thing, because Jimmy Butler is actually pretty nice. Even the new Evo you'll see on this list around here, and it's actually a pretty good card. But Lou Hudson has the actual normal release timing instead of the quick, which is absolutely terrible. That is not what we want on a card at all. We obviously are all about quick and very quick at this point in the time, and he just doesn't have range, anything like that. Not a lot of Hall of Fame badges for an Opal. No, thank you. Next up is Diamond Chris Middleton, who's kind of like his Pink Diamond, just a little bit worse. Sitting there in the C tier because he's not a great finisher. Only comes with silver quick for step and all that. All these cards recently are getting juiced up with Hall of Fame badges and things like that. And especially as an exchange reward, I wanted to show that most of these guys they're not great off the exchange. Next is Ruby Jonathan Isaac, one of my favorite cards to use in the entire game because he's just great as a Ruby. One of the best defenders you'll find all around because he has that 6'11" frame, which is absolutely insane defense, but just doesn't come with a lot of badges outside of defense, a few playmaking, and one or two shooting. And it really kind of hurts him when you're actually using him, which is pretty tough. I love Jonathan Isaac, but he's definitely down there in the C tier, and hopefully soon we get a diamond, a pink diamond, or even an opal, dark matter, something like that of Jonathan Isaac, which would be absolutely insane. I cannot wait for that. Next up is Ruby Joe Harris, who's kind of meant to just be a straight-up shooter, but they did give him a bit of defense and a bit of finishing, but I don't think he's that great at it. I think he's kind of just still mainly just a shooter. His defense just doesn't feel that great, so C tier it is. Next up is Ruby Corey Brewer. There's nothing wrong with Corey Brewer. I'm just not a fan, I guess. I've seen some people, use him in limited squads and things like that. They've had fun with him. They like him. He's cool. But for me personally, he's just not really a card that I'm ever really excited about. So, not unless I have to tier easily. Yeah, I'm not going to use him unless it's limited or something like that. He's just not really my guy. Next up is Diamond Karan Butler, a card that I just hate the jumper. I just hate the jumper. I talked about it in the free tier list. It's just not a guy that I'm really feeling. I really like. Just not one that I really want to use, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I just don't like the jumper. He's an okay defender, okay finisher, okay at everything else, but the jumper kind of kills the one thing that he's supposed to be good at aside from defense, which is shooting. I just don't feel like he really does it all that well. And last but not least, in the not unless I have to tier, we have Diamond TJ Warren, who's another guy who has a decent jumper, but is cursed by having the normal release timing. It's just not really great. He's also a decent defender, just decent all around, but even when I did the gameplay on him, I wasn't too high on him now, and now he's becoming a little bit of an outdated card, and overall, I'm just not really a fan. A lot of these guys that are in the not unless I have to tier, they're literally just that. It's perfectly named, if I want to give myself credit for that. They're cards that I'm not really going to use unless I absolutely have to. Or in the case of like Michael Porter Jr., I think if you add some like defensive badges and stuff like that to Michael Porter Jr., like clamps and all that, I think you could throw him into the, like, not a bum but not amazing. It's just, yeah, most of these guys are not dudes that I'm ever going to sit down and be excited about, and I think most of you guys aren't going to be either. They're just not cards that are exciting. Next up, in the B tier, we have, keep saying B tier, but in the not a bum but not amazing tier, we're starting off with Brandon Ingram's Diamond. Brandon Ingram is usually a pretty good card, and this one kind of doesn't really break the tradition. All Brandon Ingram cards are amazing because they have that like lanky, long, skinny, like Giannis build almost, which is always great. Whenever you can get a card like that, the build is just kind of amazing. But the thing with Brandon Ingram every single year is, I don't know, he just sometimes doesn't feel the most amazing of cards. He's got a good jumper and jump shot 75, which is always cool. It's got the nice quick release timing. Slash or dribble style, though, and not the most amazing for dribble animations. And his defense is kind of lackluster, man. Almost nothing above an 80 besides his block and his lateral quickness, which are good. Okay tendencies, but overall, I think the defense kind of lacks quite a bit. He's good on the offensive end, but on the defensive end, there's a lot that I was hoping he could be there. Next up is Diamond Jimmy Evo. I said that so wrong. Diamond Evo Jimmy Butler, a new card that we got for the Season 6 Glitch Reality. I currently have mine up to Ruby, but if you actually check out the Jimmy Butler, once you get those 10 blocks and 5 steals and get him up to Amethyst, he's a pretty nice card. And then the final requirement is 25 steals, 53s, and 250 points. And he's actually pretty solid. As an 88 shot 3, he's actually pretty quick. He's got some really nice finishing. He still has the Curry slide and jump shot 22 on quick, which is awesome. Long out the layup package. Comes with range, Hall of Fame, downhill, and quick for a step. And actually really solid defense with really good defensive tendencies. So overall, I think for a free card, for a lot of people, it's actually pretty solid. I wouldn't call him like amazing, but I mean, he's in the not a bum but not amazing tier for a reason. I think he's a good card, but definitely wouldn't like jump out and say that he's like an insane, like, absolute demon. But I still like him, and I think he's cool. Next up is Diamond Timothé Luwawu-Cabarrot, who's a card that I absolutely love because his jumper, which I think is jump shot 32, is kind of insane. And he's actually a really, really solid defender. He's the first guy that we got out of any of those like international promos, and it was the French one, which was pretty cool. I thought it was fun. I personally like really liked the whole idea of a lot of these guys, and Cabarrot being the first one that we got was also a really good introduction because he was a really solid all-around defender. He was actually really quick, had quick first step on Hall of Fame. He has range, and he has really good finishing. And again, I love his jump shot 32 on quick, which is awesome. It's the same jumper that the Pink Diamond Eric Bledsoe has as well, so I'm kind of excited to try out that Bledsoe. But overall, Cabarrot is great. All around, just really good card. So I think not a bum, but not amazing is fitting for him. Next up is the Amethyst Will Barton that we did get, who has a interesting jumper. I can't remember the exact thing for it. I know it's a jumper that not too many people have. It's only Will Barton. I think it's jump shot 44. And it's on quick, which is actually really nice. And he also has the Curry slide, which is also awesome. There's one negative that I have on this Will Barton, and that says interior defense is absolutely atrocious. Like, it is horrible. But everything else in his finishing, I think, is actually really solid. Also comes with quick first step, so he's actually lightning quick with his 93 speed. Really good shooter, comes with gold range and all that sort of stuff, and is a good defender all around. For a free card, especially through some XP, I really can't complain too much because there's really nothing that he's insanely bad at, other than like post game and having bad strength in interior. But other than that, absolutely love him. Next up is Brian Russell's Amethyst Evo card, who is basically just a slightly worse Scottie Pippen. That is a demon of a shooter, and that's really what you're getting. You're getting that slow jump shot 30, although it's on the quick release timing. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I love Brian Russell. I've had him evoed up. I did sell him. I think it was a really fun card. It was a really cool card, but I haven't been the not a bum but not amazing tier just because the jumper is holding him back. I think as a budget card with Hall of Fame clamps and just really good defense, really good shooting, 3 and D wise, he could be nice, but that jumper really kind of like holds him back. Like, imagine him with the Curry jumper. It'd be crazy. Next up is Pink Diamond Kiki Vandeweghe, the Season 5 token market Pink Diamond that we got, which was absolutely amazing and really helped me out. for a while, just because he was that pink diamond that I could just throw in at the small forward position and just absolutely kill it with, because he was one of the best shooters in the game at the time. Hall of Fame range, hot zone hunter, sniper, all of that sort of stuff. Jump shot 42 on quick actually is super nice. It actually is a pretty slept on one, and his defense and finishing were a lot better than the diamond. I don't think Kiki was good enough to land into the A tier, obviously, or the almost lineup worthy tier, but for a while he was a really crucial part in my team, just to sit there and chuck up threes, which is awesome. It's not the same Kiki that we used to have back in like 2K19, 2K18, things like that, but he's still pretty solid. Next up is Amethyst Glenn Robinson III, a card who has just an absolutely money quick jumper, and also I think may have the Curry side. Some of these cards I just forget a little bit of things, but he's that Amethyst that should be like low-key a pink diamond, just doesn't have the Hall of Fame badge to back it up, but has so many good gold badges and just so good of animations, finishing, defense, all that sort of stuff that I absolutely love, and I'm going to throw him into not a bum, but not amazing. I think when it comes to like not free, but like super cheap budget options, Glenn Robinson is one of the best you could have on your team. Next up is Ruby George Gervin. I've talked about this guy a lot. I just absolutely love him. He's one of the best slashers that I've used at the Ruby tier, and he's also a really good defender, and I love jump shot 40 with his range. He's just amazing. Off catch, this card's great, and I think it's just an overall like limited guy that you can come in and run for a guy that you got for free. I absolutely love, and I think most people forget that he's as good as he is. Next up is Pink Diamond Cam Reddish, a guy who I love, and I had on my squad for so long, mainly because he was a really cheap Pink Diamond that we could get in the beginning because of the little, Evo glitch that they had going on. But Cameron Reddish has the Paul George jump shot base, which is awesome. Sadly, on the normal release timing, and just doesn't have a lot of Hall of Fame badges, but I still think his animations and just overall what he can do is still good enough to have him in the B tier. Some people might disagree and put him in C, and that's okay, but I'm throwing him in a B for this lovely time. Next up is Amethyst Brent Berry, who, if you've used Wally Zerbiak, is just kind of like a slightly worse Wally Zerbiak, which is, fine with me, because he has the jump shot 16 timing, jump shot 16 jumper on the quick release timing, also has the long athlete layup package, and is a demon of a shooter with Hall of Fame catch and shoot and range as an Amethyst, which is awesome, and also Hall of Fame showtime, and is a really good dunker as well, which is kind of crazy. He's also a capable defender. I'm not going to call him an amazing one, but definitely can, go out there and do a little something if he wants to, which is great. And I think overall, again, as a budget guy that's going to come in and play really good for you at the 2, can't get too much better than Brent Berry. And next up, we have Galaxy Opal Rick Berry, who is lacking in badges as an Opal, which everybody knows you do not want to be lacking in badges as a Galaxy Opal. Like, what do you want Opal for if you're missing badges? Has jump shot 3 on the quick release timing, which should be absolutely amazing, but there's just something about Brent Berry that just rubs me the wrong way. It makes me not want to spend 750 tokens on him. And by something, I mean it's the fact that I'm going to have to add like quick first step and some other crucial defensive badges and playmaking badges to him. No thank you. If I'm spending 750 tokens, I want something better than that. And last but not least, into the not a bum but not amazing tier, we have Diamond Glenn Rice, who is one of my favorite shooters in the game. His jumper is just absolutely money. He is super silky smooth. I just love him overall. It's just an amazing shooter. He can still actually finish at the basket really great as well. It's not equal to like the 2K20. I think it was Galaxy Opal Glenn Rice that was just out there killing the game, but he's still really nice, really fun, and just really solid overall. So I have him in there because if you can shoot as well as this Glenn Rice cat can, you can have a spot in my lineup. Now, starting off our almost lineup worthy tier, we have Galaxy Opal Andre Iguodala. It's a card that I'm going to continue to hate for the rest of my 2K career. It's just kind of what's going on. I think Andre Iguodala just doesn't have good animations. I don't really like his jumper every single year. It just feels awkward to me. I can't really time it well. And then you're just delegated to being a really good slasher and a really good defender, and that's kind of why I keep him out of those top tiers every single time. I just don't like his jumper. For anybody that can get used to the Andre Iguodala jumper and like really have fun with it, that's cool. But a lot of people that I've seen that have been using him still are talking about him being kind of disappointing and just not being what they wanted to. So I think almost lineup worthy is pretty fair. Next up is Pink Diamond Danny Granger, who I originally had in the Demon tier because he's got the best jump shot in current gen, and is just going to be an amazing shooter. Pretty good defender, pretty good slasher. But There's one guy who has the same jumper as Danny Granger that's just dropped as a free Amethyst, and you know what? I had the tier switched, and I couldn't do it. I put Danny Granger down into almost lineup worthy, and then I moved this new guy that we'll talk about a little bit later up into the demon tier because, yo, he's good. Danny Granger's still fun, but let's be honest, there definitely are better small forwards out there. Next up is the Galaxy Opal Peja Stojakovic, who did get a upgrade to his jumper in the Chris Middleton jumper, which is amazing. It's why his Galaxy Opal is so much better than his Pink Diamond. Plus, I mean, free with 1,000 wins. I'll take that. You get what you expect out of a Peja Stojakovic card, a 6'9" guy who can really just shoot the lights out, especially now that he has a good jumper, and he can still play some pretty good defense and still slash really, really well, and his size in general just really helps him out. If he had some better dribbling, I think I could move him up a little bit higher. But almost lineup worthy, I think, is pretty fair for him. Next up, we have Galaxy Opal Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce is a guy that on next gen I absolutely love, and I think doesn't get enough credit for how good that he can actually be. Because I had this talk with somebody a while ago in the comment section where they were telling me that Paul Pierce didn't get his jumper updated, and on current gen he did not get his jumper updated. But on next gen he actually can kind of hold his feet, inside that corner and actually shoot threes consistently from there, which is really solid, and it's obviously a huge upgrade. Because if you can't shoot corner threes, why am I going to be using you, especially at the small forward position? So it's a big upgrade. But on top of that, Paul Pierce is still going to be a really good defender and really good playmaker. They just really didn't give him any sort of finishing, which is kind of crazy. Like on current gen, he has 4 badges in his finishing and 2 on next gen. So they really only want him to be a 3-and-D card. Like that's really about it. Took me a minute to think about it. But he also has the Curry slide and the quick dribble style, which obviously is going to be great. Next up is Galaxy Opal Jimmy Butler. When you have Jump Shot 22 on quick and the Curry slide, I'm going to love you forever. And he's still a good defender. I know Jimmy Butler's getting a little bit outdated, but I think almost lineup worthy is still pretty fair to him. I still like Jimmy. I love Jump Shot 22, so I may be a little bit biased to that, but I'm still throwing him into almost lineup worthy. Next up is Pink Diamond Jack Marin, who is the counterpart to the Dentist Terry, and I think they're both really fun cards to have. If you still have them, I bet most people are probably still using them a good bit. But the big thing about Jack Marin is the fact that my guy has the Larry Bird jumper, which I love, and the Curry slide, and just does everything else really well. Good defender, really good playmaker, an amazing shooter. Personally, if you like the Larry Bird base, it's going to be great. And he still drives the basket and plays amazing. Obviously, we have an Opal Larry Bird, so there are better counterparts to him now, which is why he's moved down to almost lineup worthy from the Demon that he was in before. But I think he's still a really solid and really fun card. But it all, again, relies on if you like the Larry Bird jumper. I know some people don't, but personally, I love it. So he's still an almost lineup worthy. Next up is Galaxy Opal Deadlift Shrimp, a card that I actually almost put up into the Demon tier because he's actually really solid. Like, he is a lot better than people were giving him credit for initially. 6'9", 7 foot wingspan, has 27 Hall of Fame badges, including blinders, deep threes, difficult shots, sniper, catch and shoot, circus threes, quick first step, downhill, intimidator, heart crusher, pro touch, league finisher, which is crazy, and has almost 86s and everything on defense, which is crazy. He can speed boost, he has the Curry slide, the quick release timing, and got the updated Danilo Gallinari jumper, which is one of the biggest green window jumpers in the game. He no longer has a jump shot 40, he has one of the best jumpers, which is kind of crazy, and it almost made me throw him up in to that Demon tier. And I'm still kind of thinking about it because you look at his stats and he actually looks just amazing. I really love Deadlift Shrimp, and I think some people really aren't giving him credit for how great of a card he actually is. So wake up, stay woke on it. He's crazy. Like, come on. Next up, we have Pink Diamond Gerald Wallace, jump shot 4, quick release timing, and one of the best defenders you'll possibly find in the game. Gerald Wallace, always going to be a card that I have a little bit of bias towards because he was so fun throughout the years in 2K. His Amethyst was great, and this Pink Diamond, even better. Next up was the Wally Zerbiak that we were talking about when we mentioned Brent Berry. Just I mentioned Brent Berry, but better, and boom, you now have Wally Zerbiak, who is a really, 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 really good card. You have one of the fastest jumpers in the entire game, and then give it range, sniper, catch and shoot, volume shooter, unpluckable, clamps, and pick dodger, and stability finisher, and you're going to have an amazing card that is just demon-like. The only thing that's tough is it doesn't have the quick release timing, but when you have a jumper that's that fast already, I think you can still get away with it on Wally, but it's kind of making me scared that eventually we may see a Wally Zerbiak with the quick or very quick release timing. I don't even know how I'm going to time it, but I'm excited about it. Now, starting off the Demon tier, we have Galaxy Opal Sean Marion, the Season 4 Spotlight reward that nobody was excited about, but then once the stats came out, everybody was like, hold the hell up. I need to get myself a Sean Marion because he's kind of insane, which is pretty cool. It made it nice that 2K gave him the Evo up to Galaxy Opal. It gives him, range extender, catch and shoot. He becomes one of the best defenders in the game. He has amazing slashing now as well. Almost 3,000 total stats. Amazing tendencies. Jump shot 39 on quick, which isn't my favorite jumper, but it's definitely one that's pretty nice. Same one as Kelly Oubre. And again, long athlete with his great defense is awesome. Personally, I think if we had a lot better small forwards, like if we had more of a selection, I probably wouldn't be throwing Sean Marion up into S tier, but the small forward position in 2K right now is kind of weak, and I think we need a bit of an upgrade to it. So Sean Marion, I think, is still holding on to his demon status. Next up is Terry, the dentist. Terry, I just love him, man. Curry slide, Rudy Gay base. I wish I would have got him out the vault because that's just, it's amazing. You give him Hall of Fame range clamps, everything like that. Terry, still a demon, still a top tier card in the game. I just wish I had him. And now is the surprise pick, the better Danny Granger right here in Diamond Sean Elliott, the free reward card that you get this season in Season 6. It's unreal. So if you go throughout the XP, you'll get Steve Novak, then Wendell Carter Jr., then Will Barton, and then you get Sean Elliott, and Sean Elliott is insane. He has jump shot 29, which is the same as Danny Granger, Luka, Zion Williamson, Glenn Robinson, and then it's on quick as well. Gets the Curry slide with the long athlete layup package, which is awesome. Has good defensive tendencies, but then has all of the shooting badges. Has Hall of Fame clamps, Intimidator, Pick Dodger, Off-Ball Pest, Trapper, which is amazing. Quick for step and downhill as well, and a 94 shot 3. This card is insane and does not get the love that it deserves. The only thing that he's not amazing in is obviously a little bit of finishing, but when you have the best jumper on current gen, I'll throw you up in the demon tier for some fun. Next up is Pink Diamond Andrew Wiggins, a card that was kind of trash when he first dropped, but 2K, they came through and they gave us a clutch finish to actually help out Andrew Wiggins a bit, which is awesome. Now he has jump shot 22 with the quick release timing. They changed it from normal, and he has the Curry slide as well, and a lot better dribbling animations. Some of the best defensive tendencies in the game. Really good defensive badges and stats, if we're being honest. Nothing below an 80, and has Hall of Fame clamps, Intimidator, Heart Crusher, Off-Ball Pest, Pick Dodger, all that wonderful stuff. Still has gold range and still has some of the best slashing you could possibly see in the game. So Andrew Wiggins was changed for the better, and I'm throwing him into the demon tier because, again, I honestly think the small forward position right now in 2K, like the just pure small forward position, is pretty weak. Next up is Galaxy Opal Hito Turkoglu. I'm still throwing Hito into the demon tier. I know some people don't like the fact that he has the LaMarcus Aldridge base, but I've used him on next gen and I love him. Hito has some of the highest total stats for a small forward in the game, and then has some of the best shooting badges, period, including Hall of Fame blinders, which is why he's great on next gen. Obviously, great playmaker, still dunks like crazy, and the shifty dribble style with Curry slide, over. I know the LaMarcus Aldridge base is tough, but personally, I really like it, and it's the first card that has it on quick. Not normal, but on quick, and I think it's a huge difference, and it really helps this Hito just be an absolute demon. I still love him. I still think he's super fun, and I'm throwing him in the demon tier. And last but not least is a Galaxy Opal Cedric Maxwell, a card that I know a lot of people have been throwing like undeserving hate to Cedric because he has jump shot 3, which is that same jumper as Rick Barry and Jared Jack on quick, which means it's one of the fastest in the game, and has the Curry slide with the long athlete layup package. Is an amazing defender, is an amazing dunker, can shoot the lights out with that jumper, and is lightning quick. I love Cedric Maxwell, and I'm still throwing him into the demon tier. That's just kind of how it's going. So that's what we have for the tier list of the small forward position. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comment section below. Anybody move up, anybody move down, let me know why, all that wonderful stuff. And as well, I just want people to understand that the small forward position is pretty bad right now in 2K. I've said it a few times, but there's just not a lot going for it right now. Everybody in the shooting guards and the small or power forwards are getting dark matters and opals and all that sort of stuff. Like even Kevin Durant doesn't have a primary position small forward, only power forward, and it's kind of tough. But so 2K, step it up. But either way, let me know what you guys think about it down in the comment section below. Like the video, guys did enjoy, and subscribe if you guys are new. We are on that road to 10K subscribers, so any amount of support is obviously appreciated. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see y'all in the next video.